The idea of railways in India first emerged in the 1830s. British engineers saw great potential. They believed trains could transform the vast Indian subcontinent. The British East India Company showed keen interest. They controlled large parts of India at that time. Railways offered a new way to manage these territories. Early proposals were discussed in Britain and India. The focus was on connecting major cities and ports. This would help trade and administration significantly. Lord Dalhousie became Governor-General of India in 1848. He was a strong supporter of railways. In 1853, he wrote a famous minute on railways. He outlined a grand vision for a railway network across India. Dalhousie believed railways would bring many benefits. These included economic prosperity and social change. He also saw them as a way to strengthen British rule. His vision laid the groundwork for the Indian railway system, a vast and complex undertaking. The primary motivations for building railways were clear. The British wanted better administrative control over India. Trains could move officials and documents quickly. Military movement was another key reason. Troops could be sent rapidly to any part of the country. This was important for maintaining order. Economic exploitation was also a major driver. Railways would transport raw materials like cotton and coal. These would be shipped from ports to factories in Britain. There was some initial skepticism about the railway projects. Building railways in India was a huge financial risk. The terrain was difficult and the climate was harsh. To attract private British investors, a guarantee system was introduced. The British government in India guaranteed a certain return on investment. This reduced the risk for railway companies. The perceived benefits for Britain were immense. They saw railways as vital for their imperial ambitions and economic interests in India. The first passenger train journey in India was a historic event. It took place on April 16, 1853. The train travelled from Boribanda in Bombay, now Mumbai, to Thane. The journey covered a distance of 34 kilometers. It was a momentous occasion, watched by large crowds. 3 steam locomotives, Sahib, Sindh and Sultan, pulled the train. This event marked the beginning of the railway era in India. It heralded a new age of transport and connectivity for the subcontinent. Early railway construction in India faced enormous challenges. The terrain was incredibly varied and often difficult. There were mountains, wide rivers and dense forests. The climate was extreme, with scorching heat and heavy monsoons. Initially, there was a lack of skilled local labor for such complex engineering work. Most of the materials, like rails and locomotives, had to be imported from Britain. This made the construction process slow and expensive. Overcoming these obstacles was a testament to engineering skill. British engineers and technology played a crucial role. Experienced railway engineers were brought over from Britain. They supervised the planning and construction of the lines. The scale of the undertaking was unprecedented in India. Thousands of workers were employed. Sadly, the human cost was also high. Many workers lost their lives due to accidents or disease. Despite these difficulties, the railway network began to take shape. It was a project of immense ambition. The initial railway lines spread rapidly after the first successful journey. The focus was on connecting major port cities like Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras. These ports were vital for trade with Britain. The lines extended inland to reach resource-rich areas. This allowed for easier transportation of goods. The early railways had an immediate impact on travel time. Journeys that once took weeks by road or boat could now be completed in days. This transformed perceptions of distance. After the Indian Mutiny of 1857, the British government took direct control of India. The railway expansion drive intensified significantly under the Crown. The strategic importance of railways was now even clearer. Different railway companies were formed, each responsible for specific regions. This led to the development of various railway gauges. Broad gauge was the most common for main lines. Meter gauge and narrow gauge lines were also built. These connected more remote and hilly areas. The construction of railways involved incredible engineering feats. Engineers had to build strong bridges over India's mighty rivers. The Yamuna, Ganges, and Indus rivers posed significant challenges. Tunnels were bored through hills and mountains. The Borgut and Thalgut inclines on the Great Indian Peninsula Railway were marvels of engineering. These routes conquered the Western Ghats, connecting Bombay to the Deccan Plateau. These achievements showcased remarkable skill and determination in difficult conditions. Railway workshops and new towns emerged across the country. These were essential for maintaining and building railway infrastructure. The Jamalpur workshop in Bihar, established in 1862, became one of the largest. It even had its own iron and steel foundries. These workshops helped create a new class of skilled Indian workers. They learned trades like fitting, machining, and boiler making. This contributed to industrial development in certain regions. The railways were more than just tracks. They were industrial ecosystems. By the early 20th century, India possessed one of the largest railway networks in the world. The tracks crisscrossed the vast subcontinent, reaching almost every corner. This extensive network had a profound impact. It helped in mapping and understanding the geography of India. It made previously remote regions accessible. The railways became a defining feature of the Indian landscape. They physically linked diverse cultures and communities. This connectivity laid some groundwork for a shared Indian identity. Railways were a powerful strategic tool for the British Raj. They allowed for the swift movement of troops and military supplies. This was crucial for maintaining control over the vast Indian population. If rebellions or unrest occurred, soldiers could be dispatched quickly. The railways helped the British to project their power effectively. This ability to respond rapidly to threats was a key element. It helped consolidate and maintain British authority across the subcontinent for many decades. The railways played a central role in facilitating commerce that benefited Britain. They were designed to transport raw materials from the Indian hinterland. Cotton, jute, tea, coal and other resources were moved to the ports. From there, they were shipped to factories in Britain. In return, finished manufactured goods from British industries were imported. These goods were then distributed throughout India using the same railway network. This created an economic system heavily skewed in Britain's favour. Differential freight policies were often implemented by the railway companies. These policies favoured the movement of British goods. Imported items often had lower transport charges than locally produced goods. This made British products cheaper and more competitive. As a result, many traditional Indian industries and artisans suffered. They found it difficult to compete with mass-produced British items. The railways therefore contributed to the decline of some indigenous crafts and industries. This was a significant aspect of colonial economic impact. The impact of railways on famine relief was complex. On one hand, trains could transport food grains to famine-stricken areas. This helped to save lives during times of severe food shortages. However, the same railway network also facilitated the export of grain. Sometimes grain was exported from regions even when there were food shortages locally. This was driven by commercial interests. So, while railways had the potential for good, their role in famines remains a debated topic, highlighting the complexities of colonial infrastructure. Section 5: The Railways and the Freedom Struggle, a Nation in Motion. While built by the British for their own purposes, railways inadvertently helped foster a sense of Indian national identity. People from different regions, speaking different languages and following different customs, began to travel more. They met and interacted on trains and at railway stations. This exposure to the diversity of India helped create a shared experience. It allowed Indians to see themselves as part of a larger entity. This was an unintended consequence of railway development. National leaders of the Indian independence movement used trains extensively. Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and many others traveled across the country by rail. Trains allowed them to reach out to the masses in remote towns and villages. They used train journeys for their campaigns and to spread their message of freedom. Gandhi's third-class train journeys became symbolic. They showed his connection with ordinary Indians. The railways became a vital tool for political mobilization. Railway workers also played a part in the freedom struggle. They were among the earliest organized industrial workers in India. Railway unions emerged and fought for better working conditions. Sometimes these unions organized strikes and protests. These actions often had a political dimension, supporting the broader independence movement. Disrupting railway services was a powerful way to challenge British authority. The All India Railwaymen's Federation was a significant force in these movements. There is a deep irony in the role of the railways. They were built as an instrument of British colonial control. They were meant to strengthen the empire's grip on India. However, they also became a vehicle for national awakening. They connected people and ideas in unprecedented ways. The railways helped to unify the diverse Indian population. This unity was essential for the success of the freedom struggle. The tool of the oppressor unintentionally became a tool for liberation. Section 6. Post-independence. Building a unified nation's lifeline. After India gained independence in 1947, Indian Railways became a state-owned entity. This was a significant step towards national consolidation. One of the immediate challenges was integrating the various railway networks. These included lines owned by private companies and those in the princely states. The new Indian government worked to unify these into a single national system. This was crucial for creating a cohesive transport infrastructure for the newly independent nation. The focus of Indian Railways shifted towards nation building. The network was expanded to connect previously remote and underdeveloped areas. This helped to bring these regions into the national mainstream. Railways promoted internal trade between different parts of the country. They facilitated the movement of people for work, education, and pilgrimage. This fostered greater social and economic integration. The railways truly became the lifeline of the nation, supporting its growth and development. Technological advancements were a priority for post-independence Indian railways. There was a gradual shift from steam locomotives to more efficient diesel engines. Later, electrification of major routes began. This reduced pollution and improved operational efficiency. New types of passenger coaches and freight wagons were introduced. The Indian government invested in modernizing railway workshops and signaling systems. These efforts aimed to create a more modern and reliable railway network for the country. Indian Railways became a powerful symbol of a modern, independent India. It represented the country's industrial capabilities and its commitment to progress. The railways played a vital role in supporting India's industrial development. They transported raw materials like coal and iron ore to factories. They also moved finished goods to markets across the country. The network continued to be the backbone of India's economy. It was essential for both passenger travel and freight movement on a massive scale. Section 7. Anecdotes from the rails. Stories that chug along. Indian Railways has a rich collection of stories and anecdotes. One charming story is that of Bolu the Guard. Bolu is an elephant dressed in a railway guard's uniform, holding a green signal lamp. He was designed as the mascot for Indian Railways' 150th anniversary celebrations in 2002. Bolu quickly became very popular. He represents the friendly and dependable nature of Indian Railways. He is a welcoming figure for millions of passengers who travel by train every day. The railways have deeply captured the imagination of writers and filmmakers in India. Many famous books and movies feature train journeys prominently. Authors like Rudyard Kipling and R.K. Narayan have written memorable railway stories. Satyajit Ray's film Patha Panchali beautifully depicts the wonder of a train for rural children. Films like The Burning Train and Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge have iconic railway scenes. These portrayals reflect the central role of trains in Indian life and culture. Trains in India are often described as a microcosm of the country itself. They are places of incredible human connection and sometimes sad separation. Passengers from all walks of life, religions, and regions travel together. They share food, stories, and experiences during long journeys. Friendships are formed, and sometimes lifelong bonds begin on a train. These diverse interactions make every train journey unique. The railways offer a glimpse into the soul of India, always bustling with life. There are many specific tales that add to railway lore. The phenomenon of Mumbai's suburban locales, like the Churchgate Veera Fast, is legendary. These trains carry millions of commuters daily with incredible punctuality. In earlier times, stories of dacoits or bandits attacking trains in remote areas were common. These added an element of adventure and danger to train travel. Such anecdotes, both big and small, contribute to the rich tapestry of experiences associated with Indian Railways, making it more than just transport. Section 8. Modern Marvel: Indian Railways Today and its Socio-Economic Pulse. Today, Indian Railways stands as one of the world's largest railway networks. It is also one of the biggest employers globally. The sheer scale of its operations is astounding. Every day, millions of passengers travel on its trains. It also carries a huge amount of freight, crucial for the economy. The network covers almost the entire length and breadth of the country. It connects major cities, small towns, and even remote villages. This extensive reach makes it indispensable. The socio-economic impact of Indian Railways is immense. It provides affordable and accessible transport for a vast population. For many, it is the only viable option for long-distance travel. The railways support countless livelihoods, both directly and indirectly. From railway employees to vendors at stations, many depend on it. It also plays a key role in promoting tourism. Tourists, both domestic and international, use trains to explore India's diverse attractions. It truly is the pulse of the nation. In recent years, Indian Railways has focused on significant technological advancements. High-speed train projects like the Vande Bharat Express have been introduced. These offer faster travel times and improved passenger comfort. There is a continuous effort to upgrade signaling systems for better safety. Digital ticketing through websites and mobile apps has made booking easier. Passenger amenities at stations and on trains are being improved. These changes aim to make rail travel more modern and convenient. Despite its many achievements, Indian Railways faces several challenges. Congestion on busy routes is a major issue, leading to delays. Ensuring safety across such a vast network requires constant vigilance and investment. Financial sustainability is another concern, with passenger fares often subsidized. The need for continuous modernization of tracks, rolling stock, and infrastructure is ongoing. Addressing these challenges is vital for Indian Railways to maintain its crucial role in the nation's progress. Section 9. The Future Tracks: Modernization and Aspirations. The vision for the future of Indian Railways is ambitious and forward-looking. A key goal is the development of high-speed rail corridors. These corridors will connect major metropolitan cities. They promise to drastically reduce travel time between important economic hubs. This will enhance business travel and tourism. The Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail project is one such example. These projects represent a new era of technologically advanced rail travel in India. They are a testament to the nation's aspirations. Sustainability is a major focus for the future development of Indian Railways. There is a strong commitment to electrifying the entire broad-gauge network. This will reduce reliance on fossil fuels and cut carbon emissions. The use of renewable energy sources, like solar power for stations and railway facilities, is increasing. Efforts are also underway to develop eco-friendly railway infrastructure. This includes better waste management and water conservation measures. A greener railway is a key objective. Enhancing the overall passenger experience remains a top priority. This involves modernizing railway stations with better facilities. Improved onboard services, including catering and cleanliness, are being implemented. Providing Wi-Fi connectivity on trains and at stations is becoming standard. Real-time information systems help passengers track trains and plan journeys. Alongside passenger improvements, dedicated freight corridors are being developed. These will segregate freight and passenger traffic, improving efficiency for both. Indian Railways is set to maintain its enduring role as the backbone of the nation's transport infrastructure. It is crucial for India's continued economic growth and social integration. As India moves towards becoming a major global economic power, its railways will need to evolve. Modernization, efficiency, and sustainability will be key. The journey of Indian Railways, from its colonial origins to its modern avatar, reflects the journey of India itself. It will continue to connect, serve, and build the nation in the 21st century and beyond.